Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a very exciting video. They always are. I mean, what can I say? But I'm going to be doing an updated Clionadh collection. Doesn't this look so satisfying? Look at my little organizational skills. I did shop from Clionadh's recent stained glass restock, and I picked up, I think, 10 shadows from their stained glass collection, so I have in total 20. Let me just double check that too. Yes, I have 20 shadows. They're all glitter multi-chromes. I absolutely love them. I haven't tried actually any other formula, but the first 10 multi-chromes, like glitter multi-chromes that I got, I was like, I'm gonna need to just get more of these. I'm sure all of the formulas from Clionadh are beautiful and amazing, but this is just what I have for now. I don't have all of them, but I have a good amount. So I am just gonna go through the collection that I have now, give you some little swatches. I'll swatch them on my arm, and then I will also do some up-close swatches. Hopefully I'll be able to like get the shifts and stuff, fingers crossed. I do have a video using the initial 10 glitter multi-chromes that I purchased like a year ago now, I guess. They're all in, I used all of them in like separate looks. I will link it in the cards and down below if you want to go check that out so you can actually see some of these shadows in action. I hope to do that with the new 10 that I just bought. I cannot promise when that will be, but that is definitely my goal. I just feel like these shadows are too beautiful to not actually use on your eyes, you know what I mean? Anyway, if you're curious about the look that I'm wearing now, I didn't film this, but I did do an Instagram reel for this look that I will probably, hopefully, I'm gonna post this when I'm done filming this video, so it should already be up on my Instagram, which is Laura Clark Makeup. If you don't know, if you don't follow me there, go give me a follow. I don't really cross-promote my platforms that often, so if you want to see more pictures of my face, you can go check it out, you know? We have good times over there. Okay, so let's just start. I tried to group these into like color families, but I mean, you look at it two different ways and these shadows look like two completely different shadows, so it's rough. It's a rough arrangement of colors. And I did do a little homework assignment, and I wrote down all of the way that Clionadh describes each of these shades on their website. I don't always necessarily believe that these shades look exactly like, sometimes they're a little bit generous with the shifts of all the shades, but I just thought it would be helpful to like know how Clionadh actually describes these shadows. Let me scooch over, my chair is so loud a little bit, and just give these a swatchy swatch. So I will do up close swatches of these as well, just so you know. So, you know, you'll see each of these shadows a little bit more up close and personal. So I'm starting off with the pinks that I have. This is the shade Kaleidoscope. This is a new shade to me. And Clionadh describes this as having a semi-sheer pink base with small, medium glitter particles that shift lime, turquoise, blue, and pink. So to me, this looks like it definitely has a light pink base, and I can definitely see the like limey turquoise shift in it for sure. It's really, really pretty. And it's, yeah, it's definitely sheer for sure. It doesn't have a super strong base pigment to it, but it's really pretty, especially as someone who loves a good pink. The next shade I have here is a shade that I've had for a while, or at least I got it a year ago. This is the shade Spotlight. It's described as having a semi-sheer hot pink base with medium large glitter particles that shift blue, indigo, and pink. I actually wore this on my birthday. I absolutely love this shade. I love the base, like how bright and pink this base is. It's so pretty. Although I will say, this basically although I will say that this doesn't have as much sparkle as some of the other shades from this line do. It's not quite as like super sparkly. It's still really beautiful, and I wear this all of the time. And you can definitely see the strong blue shift to this. And I think this is actually more unique than just a pink to blue shifting shadow, because it has that really vibrant hot pink base. It's not a shadow. It like really adds something extra to, I have, you know, because I feel like a blue pink shifting shade is not necessarily uncommon, but I love how bright this pink is. And I feel like there's almost like, it's not described as having a gold like shift to it, but I almost feel like it has like a little bit of gold to it at certain angles as well. It's really beautiful. This is, I'm classifying this as a pink because it has, I feel like, the most pinkiness to it, but this is quite a shifty shadow, so I feel like you could classify it in a couple different color families. This is the shade Engrave. This is new to me. It's described as having a semi-sheer brown base with large glitter particles that shift lilac, pink, orange, and gold. It is really beautiful. It's almost like a warm neutral, like a pinky neutral, because it has like a brown base with, you know, gold shifts to it, but you do have, yeah, that lilac and pink shift. I think you can see both of those really clearly. I feel like you can see all of the shifts in the shade quite clearly, actually. It's really shifty and really pretty. And it definitely, you know, it says it has a semi-sheer base, but I actually don't think, especially when you swatch it on your finger, it doesn't look to be as sheer as Kaleidoscope, which was the first shade that I swatched. Well, I think if you don't wear a lot of color, but you want something that is shifty and a little bit more unique and leans a little bit more neutral, this would be a really great option. This next shade is kind of bridging the gap between like pink and red, I want to say, and I don't feel like this shade gets enough credit. It's the shade Emboss. This is also a newer shade to me. It's described as having a semi-pigmented salmon base with small, medium glitter particles that shift lime, turquoise, and blue. I think that this shadow is so beautiful. It definitely has a pigmented base, like it has a stronger base than a lot of the other shadows, but it's so beautiful. Like, it's such a vibrant salmon color with very strong lime shifts. You can see the turquoise and blue shifts as well. And again, I think probably because that lime maybe has a little bit of yellow to it, it almost additionally shifts gold. It's not described as having that, but I feel like in some lights it looks gold as well. It's really pretty and unique, I feel. And I feel like I hear a lot of people say, it's not that exciting, but I really like the shade Emboss a lot. Next, we have a shade that is much loved by me. I've had this for a while. This is the shade Torch. Clionadh describes this as having a pigmented copper base with medium glitter particles that shift red, orange, and gold. Again, a shade that people I feel like say isn't that exciting, but I use this to top so many of my like warm toned like red, burgundy metallics. It's definitely more pigmented compared to a lot of the other shades, and I can also see all of the shifts in this as well. Definitely red, orange, and gold are all in there. It's so pretty, and yeah, like I said, I pretty much every time I use like any red, burgundy shadow, I almost always reach for this shade to just pat over the top, just to give it like that little bit of extra sparkle. It's so pretty, and this is also a shade that I tend to gravitate towards all of the time. Next, we have another new shade. This is the shade Blaze. Again, another one that's a kind of neutral adjacent. It's described as having a sheer orange base with medium glitter particles that shift peach, gold, and lime. I don't know if I see the orange base to it, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe if I swatch it out, yeah, I guess I could see it now. But in the pan, it's not super obvious that the base of this is orange. It's just so beautiful. Again, I can see all the shifts, peach, gold, and lime. I mean, they're pretty like similar shades anyway. But again, if you don't wear a ton of color and you want something that's like relatively neutral, this is a beautiful, beautiful option. I can see myself using this literally all the time. Next we have a shade that's difficult to categorize. It kind of defies definition. You look at it in one light, it looks super green, and then another light I look at it, it looks like super purpley warm toned. This is the shade Carving. It's one of my absolute favorites out of all of these shades. I've had this also for a while. It's described as having a sheer, grungy, light brown base with medium large glitter particles that shift turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. Truly, it has it all. The base almost seems like it is a warm toned purple, honestly. I don't feel like I look at this and think, oh, this has a brown base, but all of the shifts as described are there. I feel like I think of this almost as being a greeny shade because the green, like turquoisey reflect is so strong in this, but the like pinky purpley shift is equally as strong when it's not directly facing a light source. It's so special, and this is like one of the top ones that I would recommend if you can only get like 1 or 2 or 3 shades from Clionadh. Like, it's so beautiful and so unique. Next we have a shade that's much raved about, but this is one that I recently purchased. It's the shade Chandelier. It's described as having a sheer pale mustard yellow base with small glitter particles that shift turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. I'm honestly shocked that I didn't pick this up initially because it's described as having a mustard base, and my love for mustard truly knows no bounds. But everyone I feel like has Chandelier and talks about it, and it is really, really beautiful. Has this almost a similar tone and shine compared to Carving. Has a really strong like turquoisey excuse me. Sometimes I like inhale the fumes of my candle and I just like choke on all the particulate matter, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, the like turquoise, like blue shine is super, super strong. I absolutely love the like yellowy tone that the base gives it, and then you can also see the like pink violet shift when you like it's not directly at a light source. It is so pretty, and one that's a little bit lighter as well if you prefer a lighter sparkly shade. Next we have Ripple, which is really, really, really beautiful and unique to my personal collection. It is described as having a sheer aqua green base with large glitter particles that shift turquoise, indigo, and violet. It's definitely a little bit chunkier. You can tell that it has larger glitter particles, but it's so beautiful. I love using this with like greens in my crease. It's not super shifty, but I think the like green to purple, like green to violet shift is really, really unique and so pretty. I love this shade. It's not one I reach for as often as some of the like warmer toned shades or pink shades or purple shades, but every time I put this on my eyes, I'm like, I just can't stop staring at it. If you love greens and blues and that's more your color preferences, highly recommend. Or just in general, honestly. And then the next shade, now we're moving into some of the purples, which I actually have quite a number of. This is the shade Glazed. This is also, no, this is new to me as well. It's described as being a sheer or having a sheer lilac base with large glitter particles that shift pink, orange, and gold. I think this shade, as I've said 1,000 million times about every shade, is so beautiful. Oops, I definitely swatched this far down, but that's all right. And again, I can see all of the beautiful shifts in here. It's definitely a purple that shifts gold, but you can also see the pink strongly when it's not facing the light, and you can see that orange coming through as well. So I think it's so unique and so beautiful. And I'm really glad that I ended up getting this because it wasn't one that I was initially super drawn to. But after seeing people's like swatches online and seeing people use it online, it was one that I was very interested in, and it's really, really pretty. Next we have the shade Opulent, which was #1 honestly on my list this year. I was like, if I'm getting one shade, I'm getting this. It's described as having a warm purple brown base that's almost rose gold with medium glitter particles that shift orange, gold, green, and turquoise. So we literally have like the full rainbow. It seems like in this shadow. It's kind of, it's a purple, which is why I put it in this category, but because it has so many different shifts, I feel like can go so many different ways. It definitely has a strong base to it. Like it feels very much like Torch, where the base is pretty pigmented. I don't know why I just blanked on that word. And then you can definitely see the green, you can see the gold. I mean, the turquoise and green are pretty similar, but it is so beautiful. It definitely has all the shifts to it, and I think that it's very accurate to say that this has like a rose gold base, especially when you swatch it on your hand and it faces directly in the light. Like it looks like a really beautiful rose gold shadow, and then to the side it turns into like a purple base with like a turquoise green shift. So nice. Another one that I would highly recommend. Same with this shade, which is Enamel. I adore this shade. I think it's so beautiful and so special. It's described as having a semi-sheer lavender base with small glitter particles that shift blue, violet, and pink. This is one, again, of my favorites from all of these shades. It's so bright and so impactful. I just love purple shades that shift blue. So this is definitely a favorite of mine. I mean, it is how it's described. It's a lavender base that shifts blue. There's pink when it's not directly facing a light source, and it's when you get this on your lids, on your eyes, it's so bright, so shiny, so beautiful. If you love purples, you're gonna love that one. Next purple we have is the shade Tracery. This is also one that I've had for a while. It's described as having a semi-pigmented purple base with large glitter particles that shift indigo, pink, and orange. I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to see the orange shift in this for as long as I've had this shadow. I feel like it has a warmth to it, for sure, but I definitely have never been able to see an orange shift no matter what lighting this is under. This is not the most shifty shadow. It's a really beautiful, bright purple that has pink to it and has some warmth to it, which I feel like is where they're getting the orange from. I love purple, so I love the shadow, but it's not the most like special shifty shadow that Clionadh has. Just being honest. This one, so beautiful. Again, one that's literally so special is the shade Stencil. This is one that I recently purchased. It's described as having a semi-pigmented deep blue base with medium glitter particles that shift violet, pink, orange, and gold. So again, we have the full fucking rainbow in this shadow. So, I mean, I keep saying that they're so beautiful, but like, just, I think that this shadow speaks for itself. Again, it is accurate to say that it has a semi-pigmented base. It feels similar to Opulent and Torch, where it's not as sheer as all the rest. You can definitely see the blue base when you swatch it. When you look at it in the pan, it actually looks pretty similar to Tracery in that it just looks like a purple, but when you swatch it, you can see the beautiful deep blue base. and then it has like a purple shine, and then when you look at it from the side, you can see the gold, you can see the orange. Stunning. One of the definitely more special ones in this range. It is beautiful. Another new one to me is the shade Glazier's Mark. This is described as having a sheer orange base with medium glitter particles that shift indigo, violet, pink, and orange. It doesn't, like this, again, doesn't really read orange base to me. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I swatch it out, it looks like, I feel like it has like a pink base, but maybe that's just because it shifts like so pinky purpley. Indigo, violet, pink, and orange. To me, this looks like it has a warm pink base with like a blue purple shift. It's not so special and so unique. It is really, really pretty, but it wouldn't be the top ones that I would recommend, although I haven't used this on my eyes yet, and things can always look different when you actually pair them with shadow and actually like get them onto the surface of your lid, which is why I like to do the multiple looks videos. If you turn it like really, really I feel like when I have it swatched out on my finger, I can see the orange shift a little bit better, but I honestly don't. This shade personally doesn't read orange to me, so take that for what you will. Okay, and I'm gonna do the last few on my other arm because I have run out of space. So now we have some of the more, I feel like these are shades that are very popular. The shade Grisaille is beautiful. I wear this again all the time. I've had this one for a while. It's described as having a semi-pigmented terracotta base with medium glitter particles that shift turquoise, indigo, violet, and pink. This doesn't really feel like a terracotta base. I mean, I guess kind of, but it doesn't feel as orange as they describe it. It feels almost like a warmer purple. Nonetheless, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like a warm, I'm gonna call it a warm purple base instead of a terracotta base, but to each their own. And you can see the turquoise indigo shift really, really strongly when the light hits it, and then it goes more violet pink like on the sides, not in direct lighting. Beautiful, 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 and really textured and really sparkly. So depending on your shade preferences, that's gonna be good or bad. We have another similar, this next shade is similar to Grisaille, but not exactly the same. It's the shade Abrasion. I think I prefer this one a little bit more, but this is described as having a semi-sheer burgundy base with large glitter particles that shift to turquoise, indigo, violet. So yeah, they basically have the same shifts, but this is a little bit cooler. This blue shift to me also feels a little bit cooler and more blue. I feel like Grisaille almost has like a more turquoise shift, whereas Abrasion, I feel like I see the indigo, like more blue shift a little bit stronger. Looking at both of these shades on the side, they do look similar. Again, Abrasion is a little bit more cool toned than Grisaille. A lot of people may argue you don't need both of these. I mean, you don't need any of these. Obviously, we know that. But I feel like they give me different looks when you get them on the eyes, and I just love having them both. Definitely both of them are, again, really textured, really sparkly. Now we have the last three shades are ones that I deem a little bit more on the neutral side. So this one is Corrosion. This is one that I've had for a while. I love it. It's described as having a semi-sheer orange base with medium large glitter particles that shift lime, turquoise, blue. And I would say that that is accurate. I feel like to me, this is like an orangey gold almost with a green greeny blue shift. So one that's definitely more wearable, more neutral adjacent, really textured, really sparkly, really, really beautiful, and one that I feel like is easier to wear maybe for most people on a daily basis. And I love wearing this with like oranges. So, so pretty. All three of these shades are pretty textured and sparkly. Then we have a shade that's new to me. This is the shade Ornamental. It's described as having a semi-sheer light brown base with small glitter particles that shift yellow, lime, and turquoise. So this is a little bit maybe darker than Corrosion and more deeply green. It also feels like it has a more pigmented base, which is interesting because they're both described as having semi-sheer bases, but Ornamental definitely feels like it's more opaque. Really beautiful. Again, very similar. The green shift to Ornamental feels more grungy, like it's almost more of an olive green, whereas Corrosion feels more warm toned. So if that helps you, there you go. And this next shade is one of my absolute favorites out of all of these shades. And I feel like this, oh, I just stuck my fucking thumb in here. Luckily, the shade was able to be salvaged, but as I'm saying that this is one of my favorites, I stuck my stupid thumb. Occupational hazard, you know what I mean? Okay, I have one shade left. I didn't have to make a stupid comment, but I decided to do it anyway. Okay, Foiling. This is called Foiling. I feel like it's so underrated. I never hear anyone talk about this. So fucking stunning. It's so textured. I feel like it's one of the most textured glitter multi-chromes that I've at least tried. And okay, my camera cut off, so hopefully nothing cut out, but let's just go over this last shade one more time in case you missed it. This last shade is a shade that I think is criminally underrated. It's so, so beautiful. And I feel like a lot of people would wear it because it's so neutral, but it's so textured and so sparkly. One of the most textured of all of these shades, and I feel like I never hear anyone talk about it. It's the shade Foiling. It's described as having a pigmented warm gold base with medium large glitter particles that shift orange, gold, and lime. It's not the most shifty shade, but it's so sparkly and beautiful. So you can definitely see the orange, you can definitely see the green, but it's not as intense, I feel, of a shift as some of the other shades. Like Corrosion and Ornamental, you can definitely see the green. It's almost a brighter shift. Foiling, you can see it, but it's not as like super loud, but it's still a beautiful sparkly neutral shade. And honestly, again, anytime I wear like a gold or a bronze eye, I feel like I constantly am reaching for Foiling just to give it a little bit of a kick, you know, make it a little bit spicier. I need to get a new chair really badly. Okay. All right, so this shade kind of got a little bit messed up, but these are my current collection of Clionadh glitter multi-chromes. I absolutely love these. I reach for these all of the time. They're not cheap, but you know what? They're actually not bad for me as a Canadian. I feel like they're on par with like Terra Moon's shades. Maybe Divina's a little bit less expensive, but for me they're pretty on par when you like add a conversion and stuff. It's not super expensive to get it shipped. I get it faster than a lot of people because I actually live quite near where they ship it from. So I love Clionadh. I love supporting a Canadian brand, and they're so really like, I do feel like they're worth the hype, and they're shades that I reach for all the time by themselves and in conjunction with my other like regular metallics. Honestly, they've kind of ruined regular metallics for me, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, or that it was informative or helpful in any way. Let me know if you shopped their sale, or what are your favorite shadows from Clionadh's stained glass range, or their whole range in general. I would love to know. I'm constantly adding things to my wish list because I love sparkly eyeshadow. Alright, my camera keeps telling me it's time to go, so I'm going to listen to it. Again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Let me know your favorite Clionadh shades, and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!